we're going to pull up especially for you.
But big up Emma Precious, though, because she's been locked in from the beginning. Big up yourself,
boom,
Emma.
Boom, boom, boom. We appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in with us. All right, so now we're going to be going on to our next topic. Bit of a Debbie Downer, but we're going to discuss it anyway. We're going to be talking about EDL. Okay, so EDL are the English Defence League. They're a far-right Islamic phobia organisation that was set up in 2009. And I think you all saw with the recent stabbing of the children at the Taylor
Southport.
Swift.
Yeah.
So obviously there was a stabbing there, and it caused an uproar, didn't it, really, V?
Yep. So the injuries and everything that happened seemed to have angered the people them, and now they've started to riot, and it's basically just caused like people to be hateful and launch attacks on people, and it's just spiraled out of control, really.
Yeah, it really did get big, quite big. It was quite scary as well, especially because we have 9-to-5 jobs. We don't just do podcasts, we actually do have jobs
we work,
as well.
You understand? Yeah, for real.
Yeah, we've got to pay them bills.
But this is work, you get me, but I never work, you know?
Yeah, this is fun work.
Side hustle.
Yeah. But in our full-time jobs, we were worried about going home, because we had to leave work, and, it was a scary time because it wasn't just men that were being attacked, it was women as well. Not that it makes it any better, men being attacked, but it left us feeling vulnerable. And for myself, I travel quite a way to get home from work, so it was quite a scary time, and it's kind of died down a little bit at the moment.
I'd say the news is not reporting it, because I feel like they are the ones that paint the narrative, and if they want us to be, if they want us to see something or be angry, then they will show us. And I haven't seen as much of it as I was seeing last week and so on. That doesn't mean it's not happening. Kind of thing.
What happened as well is kind of contradictory, because after that incident happened, there was one in Oxford Circus where
the Roman guy.
Yeah, with the lady and her daughter.
The 34-year-old and the 11-year-old girl.
Yeah, that was
which
attacked.
Apparently meant to be Australian.
Yeah, they were Australian, so they were here on holiday, and you didn't hear protest about that.
No.
We heard protests when it was the other gentleman that hurt and that murdered the children and hurt the other adults that were involved. So, do you think that people are selective about what they get angry about?
Oh, definitely. I think that everyone is fully aware, maybe some are not, but I think everyone's fully aware that racism is out there and things are happening. I think for me, when EDL started to do these things, it just highlighted the facts. It just highlighted the things that are happening on a day-to-day anyway, but it was more scary because they were like out in groups, and you know what I mean? You're forming groups, you've got lists out of what areas. It's not a nice fit. It's not nice. You're worried about traveling around, you're worried about your family, you're worried about your safety. It's not a nice place to be in. Do you get me? It's not a nice time at all. So I feel like they've just taken the situation, blown it out of proportion, and used it as ammunition to launch the attacks that they just wanted that they wanted to do in the beginning. Do you know what I mean? They're just hiding behind that reason, kind of thing.
And it's funny. Well, it's not funny, but I was talking to my uncle about this, and I was saying the same people that are protesting and angry about these poor innocent children that lost their lives. I was asking the question, how many of these people that are protesting actually know the names of any of these children that were murdered?
Exactly. Some of them looked like they was on benefits with Bus Out Tea. They just looked like they just came out to join into the riot because they had nothing better to do and they wanted to unleash some anger. Yeah. Some people, I feel like their hearts was really in it. They really dislike, non-white people kind of thing, and they was in it for that reason. I think some of them just jumped on the bandwagon. It was an excuse to just get crazy and just do madness. And
I saw a lot of children that were involved this time. I think there was like 12 and 13 and young ages like that being carted off to court. And, it's like, where are they learning these behaviours? Obviously, they're learning it from their families, because where at 12 can you have so much hatred in your heart from somebody else? And it's just crazy. Like, the time that we're living in, people are still pushing, teaching their children that, that they're better than other ethnicities and colours and religions, and we're all equal.
This is it.
We're all equal. There's good and bad in every race, every religion. Nobody is better than the other.
Cut us all, red blood runs out.
That's
all of
it.
Us, all different races. So, you know what I mean? We're all the same.
Not me, my blood's gold. No, but on a serious note, so, just be safe out there. And, the people that are doing these things, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I hope that one day you look at your ways, or I hope that you're not teaching your children that this is the way forward and that this is how you get even. Like it's
even like the police. I saw one thing where it said they're going to deploy like 1,800 police, because when anytime I looked at a situation that was going on, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but there was like about 10 policemen and then, about 500 people. You did not deploy, enough police in the beginning to get control of the situation. There was no tear gas, there was no water, there was nothing to control the crowd or whatever. Like, I just feel like they were kind of left. I feel like their presence was there to make it seem like, okay, we're here, innit? Like, we're here to deal with it. But you didn't put in enough, you didn't set in enough things that was actually going to make a change or do anything. They were just running around. They was oblivious. They didn't care that the police was there. They couldn't do nothing because they was outnumbered. What's the point in that?
Yeah, I think the police were kind of unprepared. But then when they was talking about having more protests, you saw that they were talking about getting the army in. And we had a lot of what's the word? The people that were protesting against EDL, so people that were against racism, and they thankfully outnumbered the EDL, they were showing EDL and people like that there's no room for that in this community, you know, and they say, oh, come out of our country. This country was made up and built on the backs of people, immigrants from different countries, whether from the Caribbean, whether from Africa, whether from India. You know, this country is not just made up.
My granny was one of them. She came over here with the, on the Windrush, told that she could get NHS, like doctor and dental care, schooling for her children, get a job 9 to 5, basically like go and live the dream. Do you know what I mean? Money, stable lifestyle, and that's what they came for. But they came to build a country and then to get treated like.
And they had to build up themselves. Like, again, my gran, when she came here, for her to buy her house, because when they wanted to rent, when my gran came here, she couldn't get a house because she was black. So it was no blacks, no dogs, and no Irish. So if you went to get a house, it wasn't possible. So what the black community used to do, this is how Partner came around. So they came up with the Partner. So what they did is they all put money together, and my gran done it up to about 10 years ago.
What is Partner? Because some people don't understand.
Thank you, Biggs.
So Biggs
nice
is just asking us what Partner is. So Partner is when you get a group of people and you all put money together, and every month someone gets the hand until everyone is completed and everyone's got a hand. So that's what my gran done, and that's how she was able to buy her house that she's got now. And then they all lived in one house until they could afford to buy properties and move out. So they supported each other, and we've kind of lost that as a community, especially in the black community. I know that in the Asian community they've got that quite a lot. You all live in one home and you help each other buy homes or whatever. I wish that we kind of had that community spirit again.
It's the pressures of life, man.
It's kind of, I don't know, everyone's kind of competing with each other and stuff, and no one wants to work together to build up things. So it's a shame. It is a shame. I'd like to see a bit more community spirit. Before we move on, I just want to big up Brixton Streetwear. They're not listening today, but I just want to big them up because
offer them some support.
Offer them some support. Show them some love. If you're unaware, Brixton Streetwear are in some legal issues with a company called Brixton, based in America, that are suing them. Trying to stop them from using the name Brixton Streetwear. So we just want to show them some love, that we support you, and people support Brixton Streetwear. Go onto their website, support them, show them some love, because they're doing such a good thing. And not only are they making clothes, they actually give back to the community.
So they do a lot of things.
They do. They give a lot of, and they do. What kind of events do they do at their place?
So they do like a comedy stand-up show. They allow you to come in the show and mix and play your set in there for an hour or two. They even offered us the opportunity to go in and do a live podcast. They do a lot for the community and with the community. There's a lot of things they got going on. So it'll be sad if, this doesn't work out in their favour.
So big up Brixton Streetwear, and we hope that you get through all your legal troubles soon. So I think we're going to take another break, and then we're going to be talking about incest. Yeah, how long have we got? Or should we just talk about it now? Because we don't have much time.
What time is it?
Okay, we don't have much time. We've only got
we're just going to go into that and then play 2 tunes and then run into the advert breaks.
All right, do you want to start off with?
Yeah, so, so there's no, stories trending per se. It's just in general to talk about it, just to, spread some light on it. I mean, my knowledge of incest is just basically when family members or people that are related decide to have a sexual relationship, which is meant to be forbidden because, well, which we say is meant to be forbidden because you're family.
Yeah.
You grow up with your family, and so you wouldn't think of having anything sexual with them. I definitely didn't, you know what I mean? Because it's the way I grew up. I grew up with my cousins very close. We shared baths and shared beds with each other up until a certain age, like brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
There was never anything funny, anything. There was never anything like that. So for me personally, and I'm Dominican and St. Lucian, born in England. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for my family. I don't know of any. I know it's very common in cultures, in Caribbean, in Indian, especially not like that, but in Asian cultures. You know what I mean? So I know that it is. When I say common, because these things are happening, but it's just kind of swept under the carpet. People don't talk about it. You know what I mean? But this is another reason why we got a lot of disabled kids. I worked in a disabled school, and there was a lot of disabled children. Some being Asian, and I did think that maybe it was because, it's a lot of incest kind of thing. I could be wrong, but same surnames and all these kind of things. A lot of the time it is family members having children with other family members, which obviously the child does not form properly.
Because I saw, is it Santana?
Yeah.
Okay, so he was talking yesterday, and he was talking about his childhood, and he was talking about the fact that he was sexually molested by a member of his family, and he was talking about the division that it caused within the family. It was like some family stuck with him, some family went with the perpetrator. And so he was asked, does he think that plays a part in maybe why he's gay now? And, I can kind of see where the person was coming from, because it strips you of your masculinity, when these things happen to you. And then because it has happened to you, you might think, oh, so maybe I am gay, and maybe, that's what my life was supposed to be. And it wasn't that. It was because of the situation that you've been in. Because you hear, I'm not saying all, but you hear a lot of stories of people that were sexually abused as children that either become gay or lesbian, or they go on to be perpetrators themselves.
Yes.
So you've got that. Like, my mum used to foster care, and she was asked to take in a child. The child was 5 years old, and the child's mum lived with the biological father, and the biological father was sexually abusing the child. So social services got involved, and they said to the woman, you can't have the man here because he's troubling the child. And she said, I'm not kicking out my man. So the child ended up in care, and they asked my mum to take the little girl. My mum didn't take the little girl because at the time my brother was a youth worker, and she has a habit of making allegations, and even though they're not true, they have to investigate every allegation.
Don't want all that problem,
And then so we didn't want to put that on my brother, so my mum said no. But that story always stuck with me, and I'm talking about 10-15 years now. So this young lady is like in her late teens, early 20s now, and it shocks me that there are women out there that would rather have a man than kick out their child. And you hear so many stories. I could go on for days and days about stories about women bringing partners in, or even siblings, older siblings. And not leaving,
though. The key thing here is not leaving. No. You might introduce a man into your home, and obviously you would have thought he's got a good heart, and you wouldn't bring the man around your family and your children. Once you realize what is going on or what he's like, what is good in life, like you just saying there, that disgusts me. The fact that she made the decision very quickly there that, she's not leaving her man. She'll give up her child to keep her man, who's abusing her child. He could then go on to abuse someone else's child as well. So you didn't protect the child.
No.
And you didn't take the steps that you needed to take, you know what I mean, to ensure that justice was, she should have got rid of him, and he should have kept your child. Yeah. And then, looked about getting her sorted out, because obviously she's going to go through things, being troubled, and, you know what I mean, she's going to experience it, she's going to need her support.
And you hear a lot about uncles troubling young girls, and then the young people are telling their family members, and the family's keeping it hush because they don't want to bring shame onto the family. You're supposed to expose these things. That's what we like to do in a lot of communities. We like to cover things up. We don't want to face what's going on. You hear a lot of stories.
So the child must suffer just for your family, and everything to look like a happy home on the outside and all this kind of business.
Don't want people to know that Uncle Johnny, and I'm just saying Johnny, not saying anyone called Johnny out there, but Uncle Johnny's a child molester. They'd rather keep it quiet and tell the child, hush, never mind. And then you've got the cases where the child will get older, so they might be in their 20s and their 30s, and then they go now and they they challenge their mum or their dad, and then they say, why didn't you listen to me? And then it's upsetting when the mum and the dad basically show them and prove to them that they did believe them and they knew what was going on, but they just didn't take the steps to do whatever it was, because they didn't want to break down the family and cause problems and have people look at them badly and all this kind of business. But it was true. Your child was being troubled, and you should have done what you needed to do.
as you're not a parent. If you know what I mean, if you're going to allow them things there to have to happen to your child, you're not a good parent,
No,
and you shouldn't be a parent.
No, you shouldn't.
One of your jobs is meant to be to keep that child safe, and you're not doing that. You get me?
Yeah, any woman that's gonna, or man that's gonna put their children in those situations, fire for bun pan.
You understand me? If that was my child, I wouldn't be standing here right now, because before I would have called for assistance, I would have done my own. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
You know, this is like life. Like, you go into a frenzy, you'd be so angry and upset, you don't even know what you're gonna do. Do you know what I mean?
And if you are a victim of domestic violence, of sexual abuse, there are numbers out there. We'll share them on our social media platforms. So if you do need to talk to someone, or if you've never spoken to somebody, reach out, get help. It doesn't matter if it happened 10 years ago, 15 years ago. You know, you deserve to be heard, you deserve to be able to share your story, and you deserve to get justice.
This is it.
You know, so yeah.
Or if you're sitting on it and you don't want to say nothing, use this as the encouragement to open up and to speak and get the justice and speak up, and do you know what I mean? Draw a line underneath it, clear your chest. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's it, people.
Who's coming in the studio next?
Next we have
Dun dun dun, Carmelo.
Carmelo.
He's in the studio. He's gonna come and join us. So yeah, all right. So guys, thank you again for sipping tea with us with Shols and Vee. Next week's show. Oh, did we tell you we went to The Voice? We went to The Voice. We went to the
for real, we didn't tell them.
Change. We went to a movie premiere. We was invited to our first movie premiere last week. We went to the movie The Change. Movie was really good. We're going to be telling you more about it next week. So next week, we've got the stars of the movie, the actors, the director, the co-writer.
Yep.
They're all coming in the studio. So they're going to be telling us about the movie and how you can watch the movie. And you need to watch it, guys. You need to watch it. We need to support. It
is really, really good.
And you saw Supercell, how successful that's gone on to be. Like, we need to see more of that in the community, more young people
support,
in urban communities.
Definitely.
So we need to be supporting. So yes, we'll be sharing that with you. They're in the studio next week. Also, I want to big up our guest today.
Oh, DJ Elms. Yep, big up DJ Elms. Thanks again for coming down.
Check out his music.
Oh, Checkmate. No, who's that? No Curse. And Late No Break. We didn't play today because obviously you got swear words in it. It's a family show, you know, between a certain time. So again, we have to hear that another time still.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because this one ducked me. We didn't have a show.
Yeah.
It was our girl's birthday.
I was raving it up. I was raving
it up,
2 weeks in a row with my old self. But yes, so yeah, we went to Garage Nation. It was lit. We had a good time. When we first got there, it was a bit dead, but it warmed up. I tell you, So Solid came on, and they kind of just tore the roof down.
So Solid.
We're going to see if we can get him in the studio, actually. We're going to see what's going to happen with that. But I think that will be a really good show. So it was nice to see them. Artful Dodger was there doing his thing as well. There was a tiny bit of trouble there, but
there was in Brixton.
No, it wasn't in Brixton.
South London,
it was in
right?
North London, yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was on Harrow Road.
No, it wasn't. She lied to you.
That's her. It was in Morden, people.
See it there?
So I went to the Saturday show. So it was on, I think, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I went to the Saturday show, and I went with my cousin, yeah. Oh, my God, you lot. Let me tell you about this girl. I was so embarrassed. So we're queuing to get drinks. It's an hour queue. My cousin comes from nowhere and gets right to the front of the queue and is like, come, everybody. We see about 80 men come through the queue with us. Then when we got to the front, she's taking us to the server right at the end. And she was like, come, we got a link. So we got drinks. We paid for them. So you're saying
everything you got done, you got everything quicker than you would have had to wait.
We would have. Even
your cousin
the food.
Knew the links, yeah?
Yeah, she knew the links. So we got food quick. We were queuing for 45 minutes. Nicole comes.
No, innit?
No, I should have. I should have said, you know who I am? I work for Trace. Yeah. I didn't even do that. No, I didn't do that. But
Google me. I'm Shols, man.
From sipping tea. But no, it was lit. It was lit. It was their 20th anniversary. And then we went to the after party after. And then I went home and I got in a bath with some Himalayan salt and Epsom salt so that I could get up the next day. Which I did just about manage to get up. I was walking like a penguin, but the Epsom salt and Himalayan salt did work.
That's true, you're getting on now, you know, so the joints are a little bit more
My
sensitive.
girl's older than me by 5 years.
Like, for 56, you look really damn good.
And she's 62.
I sound it, I don't look it.
But I don't look it or sound it.
No, we're in our 40s, man. Don't try it.
But anyway, guys, yeah.
Okay, innit? Nice. So thanks for locking in, people. Make sure you lock in again next week.
Give us
Like
socials,
Shols was
Vee.
saying, we're gonna interview the change, so look in for that. The socials, Sipping Tea with Shols and Vee. That's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
We're on everything.
What else, PA? Anything else? Our personal PA. Yeah? Oh, yeah, I'm subscribed to the YouTube channel, like and follow, and that's again Sipping Tea with Shols and Vee. So, people, yeah, that's the end of a banging show.
We're
See you
out.
next week.
Big up
Take
everyone.
it easy.
Take care. Bye.
Hey.